This is the first in a series of short videos designed to help academics, and really anyone who downloads and reads a lot of PDFs, to more efficiently go about their work. The series updates the longer videos on research methods that I posted in 2018, which are linked below in the video description. I encourage you to take a look at the first of those videos in particular, though you needn't have done so to make sense of what I'll go through here, which is a seamless workflow to capture, organize, and access PDFs across multiple platforms and devices. Put simply, if you read PDFs for your research and work, this process will help to automate a lot of the basic tasks that you would otherwise find yourself doing. That means less time renaming and moving files and more time reading. The steps I'll outline in this video rely on three pieces of software. The first two are Zotero, shown here, and Zotfile, which is an indispensable Zotero add-on. Zotfile uses metadata to rename PDFs. It has other features as well, which I'll get to in a moment. So with both Zotero and Zotfile, rather than simply downloading the PDF of an article that's going to save to my hard drive with a title that doesn't tell me a lot about its contents and that I'll have to rename by hand later, having Zotfile and Zotero is not just going to pull down the metadata for the article, which I can later use to automatically format a citation. It's also going to rename the PDF file itself, which you can see happening here. And if I go into Zotfile preferences, I can change the kinds and order of metadata that go into the title. Okay, so integrating Zotero into my workflow more than a year ago was great, but I was still manually uploading individual PDFs to Google Drive to be able to read them on my iPad. And after I was done highlighting and taking notes in iAnnotate, I'd have to do the reverse, move the edited version of the PDF off of Drive back onto my laptop. And here's where we can use a third program to make this workflow even more efficient. And that's Google Backup and Sync. In your Google Drive account, and you can easily use another cloud storage service for this, go ahead and create a new folder. Here I've called it Readings. I recommend that you use a name that you're likely to stick with. You can rename it later, but that's going to mess with the path that Zotero and Zotfile use to link to each PDF. You can change the path, but at the scale of a lot of PDFs, that can get annoying. So with that folder created, you're going to go to Google Backup and Sync in order to sync that folder on Drive to your computer. Now, I originally did it the other way here. I created a folder on my hard drive that I then synced to Google. But it turns out that you can't then easily sync that folder to a second computer. So we'll go ahead and unselect these and do it the other way. All right, go ahead and just select the Readings folder to sync. Again, you can change things later, but I recommend this approach. After Google's done syncing, I would go ahead and move the new folder to the sidebar for easy access. I'd also delete the shortcut to the top level of the Google Drive just to keep things as decluttered as possible. All right, now let's go back to Zotero. By default, Zotero will save PDFs into randomly named subfolders deep in your hard drive. Fortunately though, with Zotfile, it's very easy to change that, and here's where having a folder synced to Drive makes a big difference. So if we go into Zotero, and then under Zotfile Preferences, here under Location of Files, we can set the custom download location to the folder that we've just synced from Drive. So now, when we save an article from Zotero, we end up with a renamed PDF. Let's take a second to download here. Great, so it's renamed our file, and if we control click on here and say show us the file, there it is in our Readings folder. Now, rather than having to transfer PDFs individually to Drive to open them on the iPad, we can use iAnnotate or whatever reader program we use on the iPad to access Drive directly. Now for this next part of the video, I pre-recorded my iPad screen. But you can see in iAnnotate, click up here to select a new document, click Drive, go ahead and click the Readings folder, click our article, scroll down, use various highlighting features. Here's another one. Okay, and then I go up, I click Save. And now, if we click here on our Drive folder, we can see that all the changes have automatically synced. Boom. there they are. Seamless and easy. Now I'll show you one more thing very quickly with Zotero. Zotfile will allow me to extract all the highlights I've made into a note file. So we go here to manage attachments, we clicked extract annotations. This should hopefully just take a second. And there we have all the text that I just highlighted or underlined popped up with a hyperlinked, excuse me, there we go. It'll jump to the page that the highlight originally came on. Now, there are limitations to this workflow. First, you'll probably need to purchase more drive storage in order to accommodate hundreds or even thousands of PDFs. Second, at that scale, it can be slightly more challenging to find the file you need. But iAnnotate's search feature is robust, and you can easily reorder the files in Drive by date or by name. Zotfile offers alternative possibilities for sorting files, but I haven't included those in my workflow because it requires more planning and management. What I can say is that since integrating Drive into my Zotero workflow, I've become a more omnivorous reader. If I come across a citation to a promising book or article that I know I've downloaded, I can immediately call it up, even if I don't have my laptop with me. And no longer do I have PDFs I've read that are lingering in my Google Drive because I forgot to download them back onto my hard drive. I hope this video was helpful. The next video in the series will go into handling the multiple PDFs that comprise a book you download from JSTOR or other repositories. Subscribe to my channel to see that video and more.